What's going on, everybody? Let's get our learn on. You guys ready for this? About to bring some education to YouTube here. This is a 33-in-1 game. Nothing really cool about it. Same shit. Call in 2 pay flows. Play it really safe. It's a good reference to all this advice I'm giving you. You can just watch the gameplay. If you're having trouble understanding what I'm trying to explain, just look for it in the gameplay, because I typically do all this stuff that I'm about to recommend. And for any of you guys that are watching this not really caring about Call of Duty, you should definitely just X this little box out, because this is just going to be a waste of 10 minutes for you. Let's talk about positioning right now. Very important. You need to always be checking the radar. If you have UAV, then obviously there's going to be little dots on the radar which will tell you where they are, and you know, that is just awesome. I just love being in a game when I got some dude that calls in UAV, but I'm just too selfish to do that because it doesn't give me any kills, and a Predator missile does. So fuck UAV. If you don't have UAV, look where your teammates are on the radar, look where they're facing, look where they're shooting, and look where they're dying. Wherever they're shooting and dying is going to show you the direction and location of where the enemy is. But that's only going to show you the heart of the enemy. There's always people on the other team that are trying to flank, or you know, they just don't want to give up position, so they're just trying to hold some ground, maybe a little farther away than where the main action is. I say seek that kind of stuff out, that kind of action, because when you go for the main battles, I mean, like, you'll definitely get kills, but there's just so many people there that it's hard to maintain a kill streak if you're doing stuff like that. Spawning, I don't know, I got mixed emotions on this. Sometimes I feel like it's really important. Sometimes I feel like you can do really good without even knowing what that fucking word means. They're gonna spawn where the majority of their teammates are. The only way this really affects you is if you're Ramboing it up and you're deep in enemy territory, which in that case you probably know what you're doing, or maybe you just got really lucky and you're gonna die anyways, so it really doesn't matter. And they could also, I guess, flank you with a large number of people, but if they do that, then I don't know, you're probably aware that they went there anyways, so I don't really know. You go look at someone else's video if you want spawning advice. I just don't personally think about it very often. Avoid the choke points. This game does a good job of not really having, it doesn't force you where to go. There's a lot of creative freedom in terms of the routes you take and stuff like that, but having said that, there's still some routes which are a lot more convenient than others, and we're all lazy fucks, so you know, that's where we tend to go. That's where other people go. Keep an eye on them. Don't be the dude that goes in them. Although I must say, like, that's probably the #1 way I die is, you know, like, I totally know what's about to happen before it happens, but I'm just like, that would be awesome if I could just go this way and not die and shave 5 seconds off of some route. You know, I'm feeling lucky, and then I'll get shot in the face and instantly regret it, but you know, yeah, whatever. I guess sometimes you get really impatient, and you know, I think it's more important to just be patient, because then other stuff will happen. Instead of going through choke points, you should go to spots where there's a lot of cover, because that way when the enemy looks at you or looks in your direction, their eyes are gonna have to jump from a bunch of spots to try and pick you out, and in the meantime they're probably not gonna be doing the same thing, so you'll have a slight advantage. And that's honestly how I do so good when you see that, like, I miss a bunch of shots. You know, like, my aiming's not that good, but I always have the advantage when I have an encounter with an enemy. So generally I can get away with not having that good of aim. And that's why I think this is really important to all you dudes, because I'm doubting that you guys have really good aim either. Just because who the fuck does? I don't know how to do it. You gotta have really nimble thumbs or something. But that's why you gotta really pay attention to positioning. You also need to observe your teammates. You know, sometimes I feel like a jackass because, you know, I'll be watching one of my teammates, you know, maybe like a Rambo with no patience, so he's going straight to the front line. I'm just sitting there watching him like, well, this guy's about to die, you know, but this is good because it'll show me where the enemy is, because it'll show me where he gets shot from, stuff like that. You need to always have cover. As obvious as balls. Just for, so that they have less surface area to shoot at, and so that it's harder for them to see you. I mean, it's just 1,000 times better to have cover. Sometimes you have to step out of cover to take an open shot. That's cool. Just, keep in mind that the nearest cover and stuff like that. Blah, blah, blah. Try to have one flank. Also very important. I like to do this by staying on the edge of the map, but a lot of people feel like that really takes away their creativity. So that's cool. If you want to go to the middle of the map, that's alright, but just be aware that you're going to have to spend a lot more time checking all your flanks, because you're going to have 2 to 3 flanks. Probably just 2, but if you're like deep in enemy territory, and they could definitely get behind you. So you just got to keep your head on a swivel if you want to do that. You need to always check near to far. This really only applies when you're advancing and you're going into a new territory. It's going to be tempting to shoot the people that you see right away, if they're far away. But you need to just hold off on that and check your area to make sure there's no one over there. A good way to monitor whether you're doing this or not is when you're playing, are you just hoping? Yeah, let me hold up. I got off my outline here. Nothing without my outline. Shot choice, very important. Only take shots if you have a realistic chance of getting as consequences for taking shots, and it reveals your position for you. I offer you to reposition yourself to where you just were, so if you play in, alright, you probably me right now. I need, and they're on the north side of the map. I'm on the south side. I can give it to them. Go previous. These kills is none of those kills. Don't snug them, but it happens all the time. How to go to corners is very important. If you think there's even like a 5% chance of someone being in the corner, you don't run past the corner and turn around. Run up to the corner. Maybe check first 45 degrees around the corner, sighting down your gun just so you can be ready if anybody's over there. And then you turn and face the direction that is around the corner, and then you sidestep out, looking down your sight and anticipating that you're going to be outmatched, and you might need to step right back behind that corner. This could be because there's already somebody that's just sitting there waiting for you, or there's just too many people for you to kill. Like in that case, what I try to do is I'll try to get 1 kill and then just run away, because I mean you gotta have realistic expectations. You're not gonna kill 3 people before any one of them kills you. That's just being outmatched. And never give up. Blah, 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 blah. Never give up on encounters. That's just obvious as balls. It's not going to benefit you every time, but obviously it's better than giving up on encounters. So that's really just a matter of laziness. I don't really need to convince you of that. You always got to be moving, man. So important. Be moving. The only time you should sprint is when you're 100% sure you're not going to have an encounter. The only reasons you shouldn't move is maybe you're waiting for somebody to expose themselves from behind cover, or maybe you're checking the radar, in which case you need to make sure that you're totally secure at where you are. And last piece of advice for this video is excess movements. Very important. You need to question every single movement you make with your avatar, character, whatever the fuck you want to call them, and see, is there a purpose for that movement? Because if not, that's doing is just slowing you down in terms of getting kills, or usually it just means you're gonna die, because someone that has less excess movements is gonna be able to sight in on you faster. So a good thing to do, which is pretty difficult, but start sighting in as you're moving your cursor over him. You don't sight in and then move it, and you don't move it and then sight in. You just do it all at once. It takes a little practice to get the timing down, but it's really nice. If you're doing that, I recommend sleight of hand too, because that'll help speed it up. But that's it for the video, guys. Appreciate the views. Y'all have a good day.